Hello guys and welcome to another Power Rangers Lightning Collection action figure review, and this week as you can see we have Dino Charge Blue on the docket ready to be opened. And if you've been around for a while you know that I already opened a couple of Dino Charge figures on the channel. I opened up red, black and gold, and yeah, I think Dino Charge, they're one of my more favourite teams. I think probably after Mighty Morphin, I think they're my second favourite. I just think that their suits are so interesting. Also, especially the Red Ranger, because it was in Wave 1, it felt like a lot of extra effort was put into that Ranger to make it feel special, and we haven't really seen it since with any of the following Dino Charge releases. So I'm kind of interested to see what this sort of end of I think this was like Wave 13 or 14, I can't remember, but this is one of the, oh sorry, just not my gimbal, one of the newer figures. I want to see if my memory is correct and these figures in these boxes were always bad and always had QEC issues, or if that's just like a thing of me being grumpy at Hasbro for ending the line. So yeah, let's get the box open and get him out. So here we are with the patent pending Not Toys action figures back of the box pose. I even put the box there in the background to show you that I don't just make up these poses. I copy exactly what they do off the back of the box because I'm not very creative. But yeah, as you probably saw from the opening, I got a little bit worried when I saw that he had his civilian head on, had the Coda head on. I was like, oh no, am I going to get two Coda heads and no helmet? But no, luckily everything was in there. Everything was packed away nicely. It always makes me laugh opening up these boxes because they do always remind me of like an Egyptian like mummy being entombed in its like sarcophagus, because they're so well packed, and you know, they can't really move around and you have to kind of bend them under that bar. But yeah, it's we got him out, like I said, got his helmet on. Was happy to see that he had a helmet, and yeah, he looks good. Like he's the Dino Charge Blue Ranger. Like if you've seen the other figures, you've seen this one. He does have some modern improvements, which we'll go over in the articulation. But he looks clean. Like I haven't seen any major problems with him yet. You know, there's little bits there. You can see where the lines meet there. It's not quite lined up, but yeah, you know, that's just action figures for you. But no, he looks nice. He feels solid, which is good. I always seem to remember these later figures sometimes feeling a bit flimsy, feeling a little bit soft in places, like a little bit loose. But no, he looks good. So let's you know what, let's go over his articulation. I will go over this articulation because I can't really remember some of the newer figures articulation that well. And then we'll put in some more poses. Okay, then let's go through his articulation quickly, but maybe also, because I always forget to do it, I hope I show it off well with the poses, but I always forget to tell you what accessories he has. So you can see here, he does come with his helmet, he has the blaster, and he has the sword with this sword effect that we've seen pretty much since the very beginning of the Lightning Collection. Honestly, most sword wielding characters come, or at least one sword wielding character in the team always comes with this effect. I can't remember which one the first character was in the Lightning Collection figures to have it, but if you know, do let me know in the comments. He has the sword, which is more or less the exact same sword of the other Dino Charge Rangers. This sword does feel a little bit cheap. It's all just basic plastic, like black plastic on with this yellow, very flexy, bendy plastic. I remember in some of the other figures it was bent, and you can see here it's not exactly straight. If that ever happens to you, all you have to do is just hit it with some hot air from a hairdryer and that will fix it. It does have this nice little bit of silver here, but there's not really any details on it. Again, I'm not an expert really on Dino Charge. I don't know if there should be some other paint hits there. But yeah, this generally does feel quite cheap. I also think that's the same for the blaster. The blaster, it's a nice mold, like it's a cool design. They did go a little bit out of their way to put these black bits on it, which is nice. But yeah, compared to some other blasters, this also does feel very toy-like. It feels, maybe it's just because of the color, but yeah, it feels very toy-like. It has the two holes here, which is cool. It also has a hole in the middle, which is interesting. The black on top, but yeah, it looks like the blaster from the show, so I can't complain too much. Then yeah, other accessories, we have Coda's head, which I think is really nice. I think I got a very good version. I really like the eyes. I think the kind of photo reel there looks great. It feels solid with the hair popped on and off nicely. This is a great looking head, which we'll see a bit more of later. And then the other things, as well as the two grasping hands, are the two fists. And yeah, like I said, if you go back and look at my Red Ranger review for the Dino Charge, and I said that, like, you know, you could tell they've gone the extra mile because they painted these plates on the back of the hands, which they haven't done for any Dino Charge Ranger since. And the same is here. They've not painted them. They've just left them white. They should actually be silver. But yeah, going over Coda's articulation, and one thing that I have noticed with this figure, and I don't know if it's just specifically the Dino Charge, is the head movement. So if we look at the head movement, there basically isn't any. It doesn't move. It doesn't go forwards or back. It doesn't go side to side. It just twists from right to left, and that is it. There's no looking down. There's no looking up. I think it's because this piece here is like a rubber overlay. So underneath it, I'm assuming, is the normal body and the normal joints, but because they have all of this design here, this is an overlay on top of it, or it's a different chest piece. It might actually be a different chest piece. I think I'm getting confused by the butterfly joint here. But this is basically keeping his head in place and his neck in place, so it's not like there's a ball joint here to give his neck movement, and it's just a joint into his head. There's no kind of hinge or anything, which is a little bit disappointing. It really means you can only look to the left and look to the right, which isn't the case with some of the older figures. But yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. But going over everything else, like I said, he does have a nice butterfly joint here, which is quite stiff, but it does get his arms forward quite far, which is cool. I like with these characters, which we'll see a bit later with posing, is that they can more or less cross their arms and hold their sword two-handed, which I think looks very cool. Going back, it also goes quite far back, like if you wanted to have a sword behind his head, and he's kind of doing something like this, you know, with his gun in this hand or whatever, which is good. His arm and shoulder goes all the way up to here, goes up to 90, which is always nice to see. I mean, it's kind of standard, I suppose, but it does go up, and this shoulder piece doesn't get in its way. It can also go all the way around. You do have to angle it a little bit just to get it past, but you know, it doesn't really hinder it. Then we have the new, I mean, this figure's 2 or 3 years old now, pinless arms. They get him up to about here, which is cool, and it looks great, especially with this design work here, that there are no pins. I am a pinless person. I do prefer pinless. Swivel on the bicep. There is no swivel down at the glove. The hands are very cool, especially on these trigger hands. They do have a movement, like a rocker going forward and back. Unfortunately, because of this gauntlet, it more or less blocks all of that movement. So I like it because he has a gun, right? So you can aim his gun a bit better. The older figures don't have this. So their guns, when you aim them, they kind of aim up in the air. So the rocker is nice to be able to actually aim where you want the gun to go. They added it here, which is great, but the pin goes so far into the arm that the gauntlet blocks it. So you can get a little bit down, you can get a little tilt up, but that's it, and the rest is just turning. There's no in and out movement there. It's just up and down, but very, very limited, and the same is obviously on that side. Then we have a ball joint here, which again I always liked, is that how they managed to continue this design all the way around. It gets cut off there, but you know, if you lean him forward, which he can go quite far forward with the belt, or maybe not. The back is here, the belt. Okay, it is a separate piece. I thought they might have glued it on, but no, it is a separate piece, so you can move it up if you want to get a bit more ab crunch in there, but the belt is obviously hindering it. You could probably move it down more. I don't want to warp the belt though, but you can move it around if you really want to get it out of the way. But yeah, it is a little bit hindering there. He does go forward only that far, which is fine. The legs, so the legs go out here, which is good. You know, he goes out quite far, so you can do some nice kicks with him if you want to. There is a swivel on the thigh, which is nice. I do like a good old thigh swivel. I think a lot of modern figures don't have thigh swivels anymore, unfortunately. The legs, yeah, I think they have this like drop down hinge. So if you have it drop down, they do feel a bit loose. But yeah, compared to some other figures, I think they feel all right. Again, pinless on the knees, so they have the double jointed knees. That means he can get his boot back quite far. There is, because of this thing here at the top of the boot, his foot can't actually touch his bum. Oops, sorry for the cut there. My daughter just came in to say hello. So yeah, we're talking about the double knee, and that this kind of gets in the way. But you know, I mean, he can't kick his bum, but it is what it is. It's fine. There is a swivel down there on the boot, which is always nice to see. There is a rocker on the foot, and the foot, maybe if we do this one, goes back that far, goes forward that far. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, I guess, apart from the head. That there is no movement there whatsoever. That's a bit disappointing, just because, like I said, he really only gets side to side and nothing else. And yeah, let's put him in another pose and see what he can do. So then we have the Blue Ranger here on my new flight stand, or maybe when you see this video it isn't that new, I'll have had it a while by now, probably in a few videos, but it's new to me at the time of recording. And yeah, it's a nice looking figure. Like I said, I really like the Dino Charge figures. I think they are very cool. I didn't really go over the paint apps, but the dinosaur there, I don't know which dinosaur it is, please do let me know. But it looks good. Like I said, the lines look clean, the black lines, his helmet looks great. One of the issues I had on the Gold Ranger was some of his helmet paint was rubbed off, but that's not an issue here. Like, he looks really clean, which is really nice. Kind of a lot brighter than the other ones, like a lot shinier, like his helmet especially, and sort of chest piece looks way more shinier. Like, he looks and feels newer, but you can't knock that or like hold that against it, because he does look fantastic. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take him outside into the garden and yeah, put him in some natural light with some of the other figures, and we'll have a look at him there, so stay tuned. So guys, here we are in the garden, and man, these figures just look so much better in natural light. Like, it's cool sitting in a corner here in my office and shining on the lights, the LED lights, but they look so much nicer out in the natural light, and they look so good together. It really motivates me to get the rest of the team out of their boxes. I do have the Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger, and get them out in the garden. And yeah, it's nice to get out in the garden as well. It's nice and warm, or it is warming up here in Austria. It's been just a miserable, wet, dark, grey winter, I should say, not summer. But spring is starting to bud, and yeah, it's nice to get out in the sunlight and play with some toys. So let's put them back inside and in another pose. So guys, I hope that looked good out there in the natural sunlight. I wanted to show these figures off in the best light possible, and decided to bring them back in and put the Coda head on, because we haven't seen it on so far, and also just show you everything he comes with. So his weapons, extra hands and effects, and there are the other Dino Charge Rangers in the background. And yeah, I really do like this head sculpt. I think it looks great. I love this kind of neutral pose here. Very cool. It is a shame about the articulation, or lack of articulation, I should say, on his head and neck, because there is really not a lot you can do with it. It's really just him looking left and right, and that's it. And some other things, just getting out these old figures, I noticed, like if you look at the Red Ranger, if you look at his shoes there, you can see the sole of the boots was painted black on that original Ranger, whereas that hasn't been done on any. Obviously it doesn't really make sense on the Black Ranger to do it, but it hasn't been done here. It hasn't been done on the Gold Ranger. So like I said, I always see this Dino Charge Ranger, the first one, the red one, because it was in Wave 1, as sort of like a showpiece to be like, look at what we can do with this line. And over the years, it's kind of been tailored back. But still, to say the Blue Ranger is like Wave 13 or 14, so one of the very final waves of Lightning Collection up to this point. To say that, like, you know, the little bits that are missing are the back of the hands and the base of the feet. It's not such a big change. They still nailed the paint apps. They still nailed the sculpture. They still feel very unique compared to a lot of the other Lightning Collection Rangers that look a bit more generic. And no, I think they've done a great job with Coda. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, guys. Like I said, I have 2 more of these to open. I actually didn't realize that I finished the entire team. So I do have green and pink to open. And yeah, they'll definitely be making an appearance on the channel at some point soon. So if you do like Dino Charge, make sure you remember to follow and like the video if you want to see more. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.